Part 72. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 711. Chapter 711 Graduated from college. Sister Sue, do you think this company is important to you? Of course, I have been managing it since it was founded for her. This company is like her own child, and she has been involved since childhood. Wei nodded, that's right. My brother has put a lot of effort into establishing this company, and it is also very important to him. That's not necessarily true, he can just throw it away at will. Su Tangzi was still unconvinced when he thought that the nominal owner of this company was Ye Wei. But actually, that is the only secret that Ye still doesn't know yet. Ye Wei just thought, Brother Chen is really powerful. He controls the Ye group now, but this place is also his hard work, so I want to come and see what he once loved and protected. What you said is really great, Su Tangzi sneered, seemingly not taking her words seriously. But as for Ye Wei's coming, it doesn't really matter whether Su Tangzi believes it or not, as long as her own thoughts are clear. In short, no matter what you think, Sister Sue, I will stay here during my internship and use the talents I have learned to make a great contribution to this place. This is not a polite official word, this is the truest thought in her heart. Maybe it's because she inherited Chiao's father's business acumen, maybe she's been around Yezikin since she was a child, or maybe she's benefited a lot from the knowledge she's learned in the past few years at university. In short, Ye Wei has a very clear business acumen. As he accumulates more work experience in the future, he is definitely a talent. After the one-year internship period ends, Luo Yuxi lost her job after graduation. She was not unhappy because there was one thing that made her happier, her weight finally dropped to 120. Although she is a little fat in terms of body proportions, she is obviously much better than the fat girl who was worthy of the name back then. Xia Ziun has not yet become famous, but now she has enough food and clothing by accepting advertisements and some movies. It is said that Len Rugzhiu's internship company invited her to stay, but Len Rugzhiu resolutely gave up her high-paying job and left, finding Ye Wei. I owe you what I owe you from now on. Ye is the only one with a sharp eye for jade. Len Rugzhiu is a talent that can be made. Her strength should not be underestimated. After graduation, everything seems to be going in a good direction. However, the only trouble in the night comes. Mr. Chiao was urging her to go abroad. The cheap brother Chiao Yu was very playful and not a business person, so Mr. Chiao set his sights on her. Chiao, when are you going to see me, an old man? I'm old and don't have much time left, so I just want to see my grandchildren, alas. Chiao, Aunt Jasmine has researched a lot of food recently, when are you coming to stay for a while? Mr. Chiao and Aunt Jasmine took turns bombing, and Chiao Yu, who was bent on evading responsibility, fanned the flames. It was inevitable for Ye Wei to go abroad. But she couldn't bear it. If she wants to go abroad to take over the affairs there, will she still have to have a long-distance relationship with the person she likes after she finally graduates? After thinking about it, Ye Wei made her decision on Chiao Yu. But later she discovered that not only was Chiao Yu not thinking about business, he was also very dull about these things. If he were to engage in business, he would lose all the Chiao family's many years of foundation. Ye Wei scolded Chiao Yu for a while, but Chiao Yu turned a deaf ear. Until Mosi passed by, the two of them shouted politely, "Uncle Mosi." Mosi nodded, took 2 steps and suddenly turned back, looked at Ye Wei and said, "People from the Mo family are looking for him." End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 712. Chapter 712 Chiao, you are trying to kill me. What? After being stunned for more than 3 seconds, Ye Wei suddenly realized, the people from the Mo family are looking for Yezikin. Why? After 2 years, The Mo family still discovered his identity. The old lady of the Mo family will not allow the direct grandson of the Mo family to live outside. Mosi gave a brief explanation, and Yewaiwei took a deep breath. 2 years ago, Yezikin met with Mosi alone. I don't know what they talked about, but Yezikin persuaded Mosi to conceal his life experience. Since then, no one has doubted Yezikin's identity as the heir to the Ye family, and under his leadership, the Ye family group has come back to life and created achievements that transcend history. In the past 2 years, it seems that everyone who knows the truth has tacitly forgotten this incident. But there is no airtight wall in this world. From MOC's tone, it seems that it would be difficult for the Mo family to find out about Yezikin's life experience. Pa, I slapped Jiao Yu on the shoulder. I want to go back, and I'll leave the rest to you. When Jiao Yu heard that Ye Weiwei said he wanted to leave, he immediately stopped playing the game and began to lose his temper. Sister Chiao, you can't leave. You can't leave me cruelly. Grandpa is above you and I am below you. You can't leave. Shouting and howling over and over again, he almost knelt down and hugged Ye Weiwei's thigh and begged. Yui. Hateful that iron could not turn into steel, he kicked Jiao Yu away. For people like Jiao Yu, who shine when given a little sunshine and flooded when given a little flood, you must never be soft-hearted. He is heartless. If you are soft-hearted, you will be out of luck. Ye Weiwei quickly went back to her room to pack her suitcase. When she came out with her suitcase, Jiao Yu stopped her with various coquettish gestures and refused to let her go. Ye Weiwei simply put the suitcase upright and put it away. He stared at Jiao Yu and issued a serious order. I will tell Grandpa that I will take you to the company to learn from the most basic level. Even if you are cleaning and running errands, you have to do it. Go to company. Sister Chiao, you are trying to kill me. Jiao Yu regretted it so much that he could only accept his fate painfully. At first, he had been looking forward to it and finally hoped that Ye Wei would come to take over Chiao's affairs. Jiao Yu thought that Ye Wei would definitely fulfill Mr. Chiao's wish because Ye Wei was so obedient. At that time, Jiao Yu thought that he could take the opportunity to be lazy and wait until the right time to leave. But he never calculated that the only thing in the night was not a cute and weak white rabbit, but a cunning fox. The imposing wolf. Ye Zai wants to leave, and Jiao Yu will definitely not be able to stop him. Sure enough, the day after Ye Weiwei left, Jiao Yu was forcibly taken to the company by Mr. Chiao to learn from the lowest level. If he didn't understand something, he had to understand it and learn it before letting him proceed. Step. At noon, Jiao Yu had lunch and was about to return to the lounge. When he passed by the corridor, he accidentally heard someone talking about his name. The new Jiao Yu was arranged by the above. I heard he is the grandson of Chairman Jiao. I'm not a relative. The chairman doesn't have any children of his own, and the Miss Jiao Ling he wants now is not a close one. I'm afraid the company will be divided up by the younger generation in the future. How pitiful. Jiao Yu stood outside the corridor door for a while, and finally took a detour and walked away. He walked around and entered the lounge, stood beside the bed in the lounge, took out a folded ticket from his trouser bag, crumpled it into a ball and threw it into the trash can. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Welfare group fan value requires 2,000, disciple, or above to join the book club group, 1450160019. Kaibao who meets the conditions can find the manager 3.5 years old in the book club group for review and verification, and then join the welfare group. For more details, you can join the group to inquire. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 713. Chapter 713. Someone from the Mo family is here. Ye Wei had just taken a flight back to China, but there was an urgent notice from Yezikin that he was going on a business trip, so the two of them missed it. Ye Wei returned to the home that belonged to the two of them, feeling inexplicably quiet. Because of the time difference, she returns home at 9 o'clock in the morning. I fell asleep in the car and am not sleepy now. I don't know if the Mo family that Mosi mentioned has met Yezikin. Instead, she felt empty because Yezikin left S City on a business trip and could not meet. Yezikin is on the flight and cannot call him. Ye Wei took a hot bath at home to relieve the fatigue from the journey. When she was wiping her hair, she suddenly heard the doorbell ringing outside the door. Somebody is coming. Quickly combed her hair, ran to the door and took a look before opening the door. A kind-hearted old lady stood outside the door. The two of them were a little surprised to see each other, and they had different thoughts. Ye Wei quickly searched for memories related to this old man in his mind, but there was no impression. Thinking of the old lady Mo mentioned by Mosi, Ye Wei boldly guessed that this old lady was the Mo family. However, before the identity of the other party was clear, Ye Wei did not interrupt the speculation, but chose to ask politely, "Hello, what can I do for you?" These polite words are polite and appropriate, which is the etiquette that should be done when dealing with strangers. The old lady was stunned for a moment when she saw Ye Wei, but soon she felt like she suddenly realized, "You are Chiao Ling, right? I am Chiao Lian, but you." "It seems that there is no mistake," the old lady said to herself, and then looked up and down Ye Wei. Her eyes were kind, and she seemed to be satisfied with everything she saw. "I am Moc's mother. If you don't mind, can I call you Chiao Chiao?" "Uncle Moc's mother, hello, Grandma Mo." The juniors respectfully address their elders. There is nothing wrong with this title, and it also expresses agreement with the old lady of the Mo family calling her Chiao Chiao. Ye Wei invited Mo into the house, warmed tea, and entertained the guests. He spoke and behaved politely, but said nothing about Yezikin. She had made up her mind not to mention Yezikin until Mo told her. Old Mo seemed to be strategizing and talked to her patiently. But old Mo really miscalculated the extent of Ye Wei's patience. She was polite in her dealings with others, and she did not talk nonsense during conversations, nor was she in a cold mood. Old Mo had a different understanding of this young girl. Old Mo thought to herself, "This girl Chiao Yan is extremely smart, so how good should her grandson be?" I learned from Mosi that Ye Wei and Yezikin were childhood sweethearts. The two grew up together and have a deep relationship, and now they are boyfriend and girlfriend who cherish each other. Yezikin is well known in S City and has a good reputation. Whether this name is mentioned in TV magazines or in casual conversations, everyone will praise him with words such as young and promising. Mo has expectations for Yezikin, but after all, she has never been in contact with him, so she feels a little unsure. Now that she has met Ye Wei, Mo's expectations for Yezikin are even greater. "Girl Chiao Chiao, the third child has mentioned you to me many times and praised you as a smart and well-behaved child. Uncle Mosi, I'm sorry. There is no need to be modest. Now that I have met you, I feel that the third child's evaluation of you is too low." "Thank you, Grandma Mo. So, Chiao Chiao, are you willing to tell me where my grandson is now?" End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 714. Chapter 714. I met a girl who is prettier than you. Grandma Mo, what would you do if you saw him? Take him to the Mo family to recognize his ancestors and return to the clan. Old Mo answered without any hesitation. It must have been a decision she had made earlier. Even the 4 words recognize their ancestors and return to the clan were the same as MOC's attitude at that time. Brother Chen is a very independent person and has his own choices about people and things. Are you trying to tell me that he is unwilling to admit his identity as a descendant of the Mahist family? Ye Wei shook his head. I can't help him with this, but Brother Chen left City S this morning for an urgent business trip. If Grandma Mo wants to see him, I'm afraid it will take some time. Tactfully expressed to Mrs. Mo that if she wanted to meet Yezikin, her direct grandson, she would have to wait a little longer. I said nothing wrong, and everything he said and did was in line with etiquette. But without seeing Yezikin, Mrs. Mo still felt as if she had been rejected by a junior. Feeling a little uncomfortable, old Mrs. Mo is no longer as enthusiastic as she was when she came. Knowing that her grandson was not here, old Mrs. Mo left not long after. Sent Mrs. Mo away, Ye Wei breathed a sigh of relief. The first time she saw this old man, she actually had the same feeling as when she first met Grandma Chiao, but she would find the difference after getting along with him. Perhaps it's because one is related by blood and the other is just a stranger. Thinking about how happy she was when she found out that Mrs. Chiao was her own grandmother, maybe Zikin would also feel something when she saw her real relative that night. With this thought in her mind, she laughed again. I really forgot that Yezikin is different from her. No matter what old Mrs. Mo's attitude is towards her, she doesn't care, and she doesn't need to deliberately please her. The only person she wanted to guard was Yezikin. At night, Ye Wei calculated the time to call Yezikin. Brother, when will you come back? 2 days later. Yezikin is like this, no matter what the question is, he will answer it in a direct and affirmative tone as much as possible. Ye Wei was lying on the soft big bed and rolling around casually, looking like he was in a good mood. 2 days, it's been a long time. Did you encounter anything interesting over there? No. Is there anything delicious? No. Yezikin's answer is quite credible. Ye Wei can imagine a domineering CEO who negotiates the business and signs the contract with a cold face, and then puts an end to all rogue games. Think too much. Suddenly another sentence came out, then have you seen any good-looking young ladies? This. Unexpectedly, Yezikin hesitated on this issue. Hesitated. Ye Wei immediately changed from rolling on the bed to sitting up, pricking up his ears to listen carefully. Huh. The next second, Yezikin must admit, yes. What, is she a very beautiful young lady? It's very beautiful. How beautiful is she? She hummed, and then whispered, could it be that she is prettier than me? Probably better looking than you. When she heard Yezikin's words, her heartbeat accelerated uncontrollably. Not panicked or anxious, just a very strange, indescribable feeling. Brother Chen, I'll give you 10 seconds, no, 5 seconds to reorganize your language. I saw a very beautiful girl. Continue. She's even prettier than you. Do you want to know who she is? Who is it? Who is it? Chinese Valentine's Day spoiler. In fact, Brother Chen is still doing something, which is a very beautiful thing. Is there anything Kaibao can guess with his imagination? What a wonderful thing. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 715. Chapter 715 Unique Wedding Dress. Yezikin, you have changed, you are a big liar. You actually like someone else. I don't want to care about you anymore. Yezikin even said that he was prettier than her. No matter who that person was, it was all wrong. But the scolding continued, and in the end, I was even reluctant to hang up the phone. After a while, a picture message popped up on Ye Wei's QQ, which was sent by Yezikin. Click on it and take a look. Doesn't the little beauty in the photo look like you? Soon, the avatar on the left was refreshed again, and a text message appeared, Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what you see before your eyes is naturally more beautiful. Ye Wei was in a complicated mood at that time. It's almost dumbfounding. Is this person with perfect love talk skills really her arrogant and sultry boyfriend? Unbelievable. Brother Chen, you have learned this trick to trick me even when you are on a business trip. I won't play with you anymore. She spread her hands and threw the phone on the bed. Yezikin seemed to be able to recall the scene when he heard the noise, so he just kept teasing until the end, pretending to hang up the arc. Really? Then I'll hang up. Sure enough, Ye Wei immediately grabbed the phone back and shouted into it, "Hey! You want to tease me again? Okay, okay, don't tease my baby anymore." In order to prevent the little one from getting angry, Yezikin controlled her emotional changes very well. After coaxing her for a few words, Yezikin said to her, "I still have some things to deal with here. You have a good rest at home and I will be back with you in 2 days." Hearing that there was a serious matter to deal with, Ye Wei immediately put away his joking expression, did not ask any more questions, and did not forget to warn carefully, "Okay, brother, you should also pay attention to the balance between work and rest. Hang up the call and fall asleep happily at night." The situation on Yezikin's side is quite opposite. Yezikin was in a very wide space at the moment. The middle was wide and unobstructed, but pure white wedding dresses were hung on both sides. Gorgeous, elegant, tube top, long skirt. In short, there are many styles and different temperaments. But there is only one thing they have in common, that is, they are both beautiful. A space surrounded by wedding dresses, magnificent, unique and elegant, is simply a dream place for every girl. It wasn't until Yezikin stopped answering the phone that 4 staff members 3 meters away brought up a wedding dress worn on a fake model. "Nightclub, this is the wedding dress that Carol asked us to give you." One of the people who delivered the wedding dress stepped forward and explained, "Master Carol cannot make changes due to her tight schedule. Knowing that you value it, we asked us to hand over the final product to you first." The fake model in front of her is wearing a champagne-colored palace-style wedding dress. The edge of the top and tube top is strung with crystal pearls with fine silver threads, which is exquisite and orderly. The soft gauze skirt curves downwards, highlighting the slim figure, and the tail is folded on the ground to form a circle of beautiful pleated ruffles, which is extremely beautiful. Luxurious yet elegant. The time this wedding dress was made was a whole year. A year ago, Yezikin made an appointment with Carol, a world-famous wedding designer. Carol is famous not only for the beauty and uniqueness of her designs, but also for the fact that once her design drafts are formed, she makes them by herself and will never sell them. The final wedding dress is a unique gift from the groom to the bride. It means that there is only one person in a lifetime. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Red envelopes will be distributed in the welfare group on the 12th of this month, starting from 10 yuan. Welfare group fan value requires 2,000, disciple, or above to join the book club group, 1450160019. Kaibao who meets the conditions can find the manager 3.5 years old in the book club group for review and verification, and then join the welfare group. For more details, you can join the group to inquire. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 716. Chapter 716. The person with the best heart is the best. Yezikin looked at the wedding dress and only commented on it in 2 words. But just 2 words are already of great value. Good. This design is different from pure white. He directly decided on the champagne color when discussing with Carol a year ago. Champagne color has a more elegant charm than white. He closed his eyes, and what appeared before his eyes was the peerless appearance of the person in his mind wearing this unique wedding dress. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and in Yezikin's heart, yet I could afford the word peerless no matter what. Carol received a large amount of funds transfer information at night and was completely sleepless. However, her joy lies not only in this huge remuneration, but also in the recognition of her design ability by exclusive customers when they undoubtedly transfer the money. Thinking about it, when Yezikin gets married, the mysterious wedding dress designed by Carol this year will be unveiled. Carol thought, by then the photos of Yezikin's beautiful bride would probably be hanging in fashion magazines everywhere for a long time, right? Old MRSMO did not leave after arriving in S-City. MOSI also had enough opportunities to come to S-City and tried his best to accompany the old lady to be mentally prepared for rejection. Mom, if he doesn't want to go back to the MO family, he doesn't have to force himself, right? Every time MOSI said similar words and made insinuations, MRSMO would reject them without hesitation. Old MRSMO always said, "How can my grandson of the MO family live outside with someone else's surname? No matter how big the family group is, how can it be as strong as our MO family's hundreds of years of foundation?" Seeing that it was time for Yezikin to return to City S, that kid pursues fame, wealth, and status, but has no ambition. I think back when Yezikin chose to guard the A group for the hypocrite Yehantian, many people felt that he was taking the opportunity to rise to power. But later, when MOSI really came into contact with Yezikin, he discovered that Yezikin pursued fame, wealth, and status just to put himself in a stronger position, but he was not the kind of person who would do anything to achieve his goals. Such a person is more convinced to obtain higher value through his own efforts, rather than to obtain higher benefits through other methods. Therefore, the conditions proposed by old MRSMO were not a big temptation for Yezikin. Mom, that child already has independent thinking and the ability to make decisions. We cannot interfere. I'm not interfering. What's wrong with me, an old lady who is half buried in the grave, who just wants to have her grandchildren by her side when she grows old? We have many juniors in the MO family. It's quite a lot. Your eldest brother has 3 daughters, your second brother has a son and a daughter, but you are still single. You just want to me off. Old MRSMO looked a little angry. MOSI quickly surrendered. Mom, didn't we agree not to mention this matter? MOSI, who usually looks mature and steady, has nothing to do when he meets this old lady who likes to play tricks. Old MRSMO would talk about his singleness whenever she disagreed, which made MOSI unable to avoid her. Old MRSMO pointed at him and scolded him, "If I don't talk about you, I will talk about my grandson. The younger generation of the MO family only has a boy. You have one here and you still refuse to take it home. What do you think?" Huh? MOSI retorted, "Don't you still have 4 legitimate granddaughters? Although our MO family treats our grandchildren equally, can we feel the same about raising grandchildren and granddaughters? Then you mean to take it back by force? That's not necessary. I have already thought of a way to get him to return to the MO family voluntarily." Oh. As soon as old MRSMO appeared, she thought of a way to get Brother Chen to go back voluntarily. What could be the reason? End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 717. Chapter 717. Using medicine to force him to agree. You haven't seen the child Yezikin yet. Is there any way to make him return to the MO family voluntarily? If my guess is correct, he should have a hereditary heart disease. You mean the Mahist one? Yes, old MRSMO nodded. Although I didn't see the child when I went to that apartment before, I accidentally found a bottle of medicine after being invited in by girl Chiao Chiao. Although MRSMO is old, her eyesight is still bright. She paid attention to it at that time and found out about medicines for treating heart diseases. I think back then, when she married into the Mo family, she was afraid to have children because of the hereditary heart disease in the Mo family. Later, treatment technology became more and more mature, and she had no problem giving birth to the eldest and second children. Sanmosi inherited it here again. So the Mo family has been a little indulging in MOSI since they were young. This is why old MRSMO really tolerates MOC's failure to start a family and start a career. It's just that I didn't expect that MOSI unexpectedly had a son, and the disease would most likely be passed on to Yezikin. Later, the Mo family became more and more mature in treating their hereditary heart disease. The Mo family did not need to rely on medicine to regulate their bodies for a long time, and even MOC's physical condition was almost in recovery. Now, they discovered Yezikin. Even though Yezikin was familiar with the Gu family, a well-known medical family, they were unable to completely cure Yezikin's condition in a short period of time. After all, the Mahist's research from generation to generation has accumulated several lifetimes of experience. You mean to use a genetic disease as a threat to force the child to return to the Mo family to recognize his ancestors? That's what I meant. But I asked him to return to the Mo family out of kindness, and it's not forced. MOSI didn't know whether he should persuade her or not, but it seemed that no matter what he said, old MRSMO was determined to get Yezikin back to the Mo family. Even when Mr. Mo mentioned the words Yezikin, MRSMO would remind him, that child's surname is Mo, not yet. Actually, MRSMO is a stubborn old man. It's not a naughty thing, it's a stubborn one. There is little chance of changing what she believes in, and it seems that the same is true for Yezikin. Perhaps this is skipped generation inheritance. We don't know the answer yet. 2 days later, Yezikin returned successfully. He told Ye that the only pickup time was in the afternoon, but he went back early and brought her a gift as a surprise. Yezikin had the key and knew the secret, so he entered the apartment quietly. At this time, Ye Wei had just gotten up from a lazy nap. He was lying on the bed with a facial mask on, counting the time to close his eyes and relax. But just as he approached the bed with gentle steps, Ye Wei suddenly opened his eyes, turned his eyes extremely sensitively, and his eyes fell accurately on Yezikin. Ye Wei was stunned. Yezikin stood there motionless. Ye Wei blinked and immediately took off the black mask and stood up. "Brother, why are you back? I'm really surprised by how you look like this." Yezikin reached out and touched her scattered and disorderly hair, unable to resist her words and expressions. Ye Wei immediately ran into the bathroom, screamed "Ah!" in front of the mirror and covered her face. The person she longs for sees her dressed in sleepwear, with messy hair and a facial mask, looking like a black-faced monster. She is really. "I want to lift the quilt and get in." "Okay, I've never seen you before. Stop hiding and come out quickly." "I don't." "Come out and give you a gift." "What gift?" End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 718. Chapter 718, The Unprecedented Grand Anniversary Meeting. "You want to give me a gift?" Ye Wei opened the door slightly and stuck his head out. Yezikin told her, "The gift is downstairs." Ye Wei quickly returned to the sink, wiped her face clean in the mirror, patted it, and then she was willing to open the door and go out. "What gift?" She grabbed Yezikin's arm and begged him to take her to see it, her eyes full of anticipation. "This height difference is just right." Yezikin reached out and touched her head. "I was moved when I heard the gift." "Is the gift more important than me?" "Yes, the gift is much more attractive than you." "Then it's better for me to hide." "Don't hide it or hide it. It's my gift, I have to find it myself." Yezikin let go of his hand, opened the door and ran out, but after walking around the living room, he didn't see anything where he could put the gift. When Yezikin walked out slowly, she looked up at him with her hands on her hips. Where is the promised gift? I clearly didn't see anything. The gift is not in the living room. What? Just now I said it was in the living room, but now I can't find it, so I say it's not there. I feel so complicated. Is it possible that I just want to punch someone? Brother, you are so bad now. I promised you the gift. When she couldn't find it, she reached out and asked for it. Looking down, he saw the tender white palm with slightly open fingers. As if by magic, he took out a piece of paper and placed it in her palm. Give. What's this? She opened the ticket paper with her finger full of confusion. The amusement park logo in the center of the ticket was very obvious. Is this a ticket for the amusement park? Well, a gift. Do you want to take me to the amusement park? She lowered her head and read the instructions on the ticket carefully, and muttered in a low voice, the amusement park's annual meeting is next Saturday. Well, this anniversary will be different from previous years. It will be an unprecedented event. I'll take you to have some fun. Ye Wei clapped his hands together and clapped, great. She was obviously delighted to hear the news and pleased with the gift she had received. It's not because of her childish nature, but because she always has a certain expectation for the playground. A wonderful expectation. At this moment, she didn't know that the person who prepared the gift wanted to take this opportunity to give her a bigger surprise. Just when I was chatting with Gongkin Li, I brought up the amusement park. Gongkin Li made a few perfunctory remarks and just said that she had something to do next week and was not interested in these things. Ye Wei didn't notice anything was wrong and said it would be a pity for her not to go. Anyway, you know that I'm not very interested in that kind of place. Just like it when the time comes, dress up beautifully and go to the appointment. It's best to make it memorable. Is it necessary to be so grand? Ha, of course, life needs passion, and love needs surprises, you know. Gongkin Li gave her crazy hints. Ye Wei didn't understand, and instantly changed the topic to Gongkin Li. Why are you so eloquent when it comes to talking about me? What about yourself? Forget about mine. I've been following Drgu for 4 years, and he doesn't even put a p, cough, civilized language. But during the 3 years you were in the police academy, you rarely met or contacted Guchensi because of your training. What do you like about him? I don't know, maybe I just like him but not me. It sounded so reasonable and powerful that she couldn't refute it. Don't talk about me, you have to remember what I told you. Oh. Do you understand all kinds of explicit hints, express hints? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 719. Chapter 719. Should I wear a short skirt on a date? Ye Wei agreed verbally, so she thought about putting on makeup then, but she didn't expect to receive a big package the next day. When I opened it, it turned out to be a short skirt dress. What's the situation? The sender's name is Gongkin Li. Ye Wei hurriedly called to inquire, only to hear Gongkin Li tell her in a relaxed and cheerful tone on the other end, before, my mother took me to read some fashion magazines to choose clothes. I picked one at random and collected it last night. At first glance, it's obviously not suitable for me. I thought you were going on a date, so I sent it to you. Ye Wei and Gongkin Li have a similar figure and wear similar sizes. Gongkin Li's casual explanation sounds a bit complicated, but it really seems like something she can do. Ye Wei didn't think too much. She took the skirt and tried it on. The skirt was slim and waist-fitting, and even the front, even the size of the front were just right, as if it was tailor-made for her. Standing in front of the full-length mirror, this skirt really suits her. It modifies her figure and highlights her skin tone. It looks great. Just feeling weird? After a while, Yeziwei called Gongkinli again, I'm going to the amusement park, and the long skirt is useless. It's very inconvenient. Oops, it's so inconvenient you are going to the amusement park for the next few days, but you have to remember that you are going on a date with your boyfriend, not playing games with the children. Gongkinli emphasized the word date many times, making the concept of date take root in Ye Weiwei's heart, deeply and deeply. Sounds like this. One side is for fun, the other side is for dating. Given the choice of one of the two, of course she prefers the latter. You are right, I will dress up well that day so that passers-by will think that we are a couple and we are a perfect match. In the end, Ye Yiwei established this firm idea in his heart. Gongkinli kept echoing, yes, that's right, that's how it should be. After hanging up the phone, Gongkinli rolled on her bed laughing and received the voice call from Nangong Luo. Lu Li, are you done with things over there? Of course. I, Gongkinli, am absolutely sure to hit the target perfectly. What about you? Everything is ready, just waiting for the playground's annual meeting next week. Yayoi rubbed his hands excitedly, I'm so excited thinking about that scene. I'm going to get a camera to record the whole thing that day. In addition to the joy, the news that Yezikin returned to S City also reached the ears of MRSMO. Old MRSMO couldn't hold back anymore and wanted to see her grandson. She made arrangements and headed to Yezikin's apartment. Old MRSMO's whole heart was focused on finding her legitimate grandson. The first person she saw when she opened the door this time was not the grandson she longed for, but the only one in the night. Old MRSMO lost her composure because she was too impatient. Chiao, I came here today to meet him. At this time, there was no need to use euphemisms to deceive the other party's words. Old MRSMO directly stated the purpose of coming here. Ye Weiwei invited her into the house with a smile on her face, Grandma Mo, please sit down. Brother Chen will be back soon. Yeziwei left her behind this time, which meant that Yezikin wanted to meet old MRSMO voluntarily. Old MRSMO took the opportunity to look at the medicine bottle she had seen last time, but now the place where it was placed was empty, with nothing on it. Old MRSMO turned to Yue and asked, do you know that Chenner has a heart disease? End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 720. Chapter 720 Chenner's favorite girlfriend. What does Grandma Mo mean by this? I don't speak secretly, but I am also concerned about my grandson's health, because our Mo family has hereditary heart disease. Ye Weiwei lowered his eyes, but did not show any surprise or confusion. He seemed to accept the truth naturally. It seems you know. MRSMO is old but unambiguous. You can tell by her reaction that she is right. Yezikin indeed inherited a familial heart disease like his father Mosi. Ye Weiwei pursed her lips and smiled, saying, Grandma Mo, Brother Chen's condition is under control. It's not a big problem for us. In fact, every time she saw Yezikin taking medicine, she felt sad and distressed in her heart. Fortunately, Guchensi had been researching new treatment methods for Yezikin's disease, which allowed Yezikin's condition to be controlled. Even if he has emotions and occasionally plays basketball, these things will not affect him. As long as he pays more attention, his life will be no different from ordinary people. Although old MRSMO felt a little distressed, she was thinking more about her sure victory and the reason for Yezikin to return to the Mo family to recognize her ancestors. It's true that you can control the disease, but our Mahist family has developed a radical cure. What? Old MRSMO's words attracted Ye Yiwei's full attention. Old MRSMO held up her slender white hand and placed it in her palm, patting the back of her hand gently, as if to close the distance. He also told her something intimate, Girl Chiao, since you are Chenner's favorite girlfriend, you are not considered an outsider over there. I might as well tell you now that I'm here. Chenner's father, Mosi, was originally also I inherited the disease, but it was completely cured a few years ago. Throwing out the temptation of curing heart disease, and with the successful example of Mosi, I believe that Yewaiwe is no longer at peace in his heart. Old MRSMO has made up her mind. She not only wanted to tell Yezikin about this matter, but also reminded Yewai many times. Because MRSMO had already heard a lot about the relationship between Yezikin and Yewai from Mosi. These two people cherish each other and must be thinking about each other. Yewai always stays by Yezikin's side. If she felt sorry for Yezikin, she would definitely persuade Yezikin to return to the Mo family. Chiao Chiao, I am his grandmother and will not harm him. I am saying this in the hope that you can help persuade him to go home. He does not need to fight alone. He has many relatives. With emotion and reason, old MRSMO's chess game has begun. Yezi listened silently. No matter how much the fluctuations in his heart were, he didn't show it in his expression. While the two were talking, Yezikin came back. When the people in the house heard the noise, they all looked towards the door. Especially MRSMO, she was pleasantly surprised when she saw Yezikin for the first time. Mosi is handsome, and Yezikin is even more stunningly beautiful. Their temperament and aura are both impeccable. It can be said that MRSMO was very satisfied when she saw Yezikin in person for the first time. You are, the child of my Mo family. Old MRSMO wanted to get closer, but was shocked by Yezikin's cold aura. Not knowing what this grandson is like, MRSMO cannot treat him like her younger generation. Seeing the slight frown on his brow, MRSMO pointed at herself and told him her identity with a happy face, Chenner, I am your grandma. End of this chapter.